I'm joining you from my studio today. Got a little project that I'd like to share with you. And it's a project that takes a little bit of old and a little bit of new and kind of meshes them together and just makes something really, really beautiful for Christmas. Hey y'all, this is Heidi with H2 Home Designs, where I share innovative and artful design ideas to inspire you in your home. The materials that you're going to need for this Christmas tree project are really quite simple. First, we're going to start out with an old bed spring. Try and select one that stands up nicely and has the shape of a Christmas tree. And then you're going to need some wooden beads. You can see here I have white, and these are kind of white distress beads. I also have just some plain natural beads. You can purchase, there are lots of different colors. I have included a couple of links in the description below. These are links to some beads that are the same size, which is a 1/2 inch, and have the same diameter hole, which is about 4 millimeters. You're going to want to make sure that the holes of the beads are large enough to go around the wire of your bed spring. Now, some of the links in the description are affiliate links. This just means that at zero cost to you, I will earn an affiliate commission if you click through the link and finalize a purchase. Now, the next materials are where this project really gets kind of fun. I have found some old rusty keys. I'm going to use these to be almost ornaments that are hanging off of my tree. Now, I know not everyone's going to have rusty keys. These just give it a darling vintage look. They could be painted. You could keep them this color, but find something small that's going to fit onto your wire that you can use as ornaments. It might even be beads from an old necklace, a vintage necklace. Play around a little bit. There could be all kinds of fun, and to really just make it your style. Then you're going to need some kind of topper. I've chosen to go with kind of a standard star as the topper for my tree. This is just a paper mache star that I bought at a craft store. You'll want some kind of ribbon. It could be ribbon, it could be twine. I'll let you decide. And some glue. Now, the construction of the tree is really quite simple. In fact, once you get this started, this is something that a grandchild or a child with a little bit of support could work on with you. It might be a fun little project for them to keep them busy for a little while. So I'm just simply going to take my bed spring and I'm going to select some beads. I'm going to go with the distressed white beads here, and I'm simply going to string these beads, if you will, onto my spring. You can see, just like you were building a necklace, I'm going to put some of the beads on. And then every so often, I'm going to tuck in one of those ornaments, we're going to call it. For me, these are the rusty old keys. Okay, and you could put as many beads on here as you like. I have about 25 to 30 beads here, I would say. I'm going to keep my tree a little sparse and not fill it all the way up, but there are packages of beads, and I found a couple that are in the description box below that you can use that have 200 to 300 beads in the package. Those will give you a much fuller look. So you decide how full you'd like your tree to be, and then purchase your beads based on that. I'm going to go ahead and add another little key here. And we'll string on some more beads. And it's really important that you make sure that your beads are the right size. I've chosen the 1/2 inch. If you go with a bead that's larger, this is a larger bead. When you get to the top here, you're going to have a hard time getting that bead to feed all the way around because it's too big. So the 1/2 inch size bead really works well for this project. And again, that 4 millimeter diameter hole in the bead is essential to be able to actually get them strung onto your wire. All right. Now I'm going to just start sending them around and around and around. And I want you to see how cute this is starting to look. Just darling. Got a really nice little vintage look to it. I'm going to continue working around, adding a few more beads. and a few more of the keys. You can see how easy the beads actually go on if you get the right size. If you don't, it's going to be some work. And this wire is not very forgiving. It's meant to stay put, so it's kind of hard to bend. All right, let's move these on up the spiral. And you can use different color beads if you want to use green beads. They do make, I know they make a red bead, and you'll see a link to those red beads in the description below. Those red beads are the right length and also have the right diameter of hole, along with the white beads that are included in that description box below if you want to pick those up. But look at just how darling this is starting to look. I've simply chosen an antiquing wax. This is one that you can just get at Walmart, and that's part of the reason I'm showing it here. It's available just about any place. It's just simply called Antique. It's made by Waverly, and all you need to do with this, it's a water-based product, so it's really easy to work with and it's really easy to clean up. Just take 1 part of the antiquing wax to about 3 or 4 parts water, so you get a real runny consistency. And we're just going to take that and kind of do almost a dry brush onto my star, just to give it some interest. We're not going to be Picasso here. In fact, if you allow some drips, it'll probably be cute. So don't worry too much about it looking perfect. We're talking old here, old, grungy. So I'm going to brush this on, let it dry, and then I will come back and add another coat of paint to this. And you can see how quickly this happens. It's so easy. What I could do at this point is actually go in and wipe with a clean, soft cloth to get some of that off. And that might give it really an interesting look. But here we go. We're going to just let this dry, and then we'll give it another coat, and then we'll be ready to top our tree. Okay, this is where we get to have a little bit more fun. We have our tree. We're getting ready to top it. I've got my paper mache star that has been antiqued with that antiquing glaze, and I put a couple of coats on that, so it looks really kind of rich, antique, and old. And then I'm going to add some ribbon to this. I found a number of different ribbons that have a nice Christmassy look. I've got one that's kind of a tartan plaid. This one here looks almost like candy canes. This is a buffalo check plaid, and then this is kind of a grain sack stripe. I decided I'm going to go with this one, but I think all of these could look really cute on top of this tree. So I'm simply going to take my star and my ribbon, and I'm going to tie a bow, the ribbon. So this is so easy. Again, a child could probably help you create these as well. Simple, but simple doesn't necessarily mean that it's not just adorable. Okay, so let me retie that bow again. I want to make it long enough that the tails kind of hang down the tree a little bit, give it a little bit more interest. And you can use any kind of ribbon you like. Just make sure it's something that is flexible, that has a nice hang to it, if you will. It'll look prettier on your tree if it's not too stiff. Okay, so I have a little bow there. You can see how cute that is. And then you can tuck in mistletoe if you've got mistletoe. I've got little evergreen. You probably want something smaller this, but you could tuck something like that in as well. I have these tiny little, they're kind of berries, but they're metallic. I think they're really pretty, and I'm going to tuck those in, and well, let's just see how this looks. I'd love to have a little bit of bling. I think the metallic just adds a nice touch to all the rust that we have going on here. And then I thought, because my tree is just a little bit wonky, if you set it down, it does kind of tip to the side, that instead of putting the bow on the top of the star, I'm actually going to put it on and then tilt it to the side, I think. I have got my hot glue gun. I'm going to start with the E6000. And don't use too much of this. Ask me how I know. I've done that. Probably just a little dab will do ya. So I'm going to just add a little bit between the points of stars there. I'm gonna have to heat up that hot glue again. Should have worked a little quicker with that. All right, now I'm just gonna adhere the ribbon and the berries right to that hot glue. Hold it on there for just a minute. You can see how pretty it is just to have some of that metallic berry popping through. Now I'm going to trim up my ribbon a bit because it does feel like it's just a little bit, it's overwhelming the spring and my star, and I don't want to do that. So let's shorten these up a little bit and see if that helps. And that's it. Now just take a look at how darling this turns out. Simply pop that little star on top and look at how cute it is. Very, very simple. Isn't that darling? Look cute on a mantle top. You could put it on top of a present if you wanted to give a gift to someone and have kind of a fun quasi bow on the top of it. Be creative in how you use it, but again, just such a simple idea. We've got the old spring, we've just got some beads, we got some little bits and bobs, our little rusty keys, some kind of topper for the top. The sky's the limit with this. Just make it yours. Make it something that you're truly going to love and enjoy, and have a great time doing this project. It's fun, it's simple. Draw the kids in if you think it's something the kids would like to do as well, and just enjoy the process. Thank you for joining me today in this quick little upcycle project. I hope you enjoy it. Love to hear your thoughts about the project itself and what other ways that you might personalize this. If you know somebody you think would enjoy this simple project and video, love to have you share it with them. And as always, be the reason that someone smiles today. Take care.